Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing good today. Now, Arsenal women have just lost another game. We have lost 4-2 today against Brighton women, and today I'm going to be chatting about the game today. And yeah, I hope you all do enjoy me today. I hope you all can join in and let me know your thoughts on the game. Honestly, we have conceded 9 goals these last 2 games. That is just not good enough. I'm gonna start off with the lineup because you know what I think that's a good way, a good good bit to start with because today wasn't great until the last sort of 10 minutes. So Sinsberger started, and I looked on the bench and I thought, why isn't Dom the Star not there? And I do understand we've got a final coming up, and if she was to get injured, yeah, things would be very difficult for us. But Sinsberger just isn't good enough to play at this level, especially now because she's got really low confidence. So I think when I saw that, I did sort of get a bit nervous about going to this game because we don't really keep a lot of clean sheets with Sinsberger. I was happy that we had quite a strong back four where we saw Emily Fox, Leah Catley, and then we saw Carl Dente, Mead, Little, McCabe, Manning, Ford, and Russo. So for me, I think Renee did a great thing by putting out a really strong lineup. Um, and yeah, I didn't have a lot of complaints, obviously, other than Sinsberger and goal. I thought it was a pretty strong lineup, and I don't think that Rennie could have done much else. And ultimately, I know we have Williams on the bench and she could play, but she is an academy player and it might be a bit of a bold risk to play her in this game. But looking back, we could have done that. Um, so yeah, I'm not going to blame all the goals on Zinsberger because that would be very unfair. I think from what I saw, the first 2 goals, I don't think she could have done much about it. Maybe definitely Van der Sar could have saved one of them, but we would never know. So I think they were 2 great goals. I think defensively we got caught out, and you just have to give them that credit. They scored 2 great goals, and yeah, obviously Fran Kirby got a great goal, and the second goal was amazing. We weren't defending, and you can't blame Sinsberger for that goal, but I do blame her for the others. I do look at her and I think you could do better at this, and I do feel for Sinsberger. She's got her confidence has been knocked, and I do really feel for her. But ultimately, we do have to be ruthless at this level. I don't think she's good enough, and I know a lot of us feel this way. And yeah, it's a real shame. I mean, obviously, we have secured Champions League football for next season. You know, we have one more game against United. We could, finish the league second. Listen, ideally, we do want to finish the league, second, not third, sorry. But I just feel like, we're falling apart. We've got a big game in the final. We need these games to give us confidence. These games, for me, should give us confidence. And ultimately, we're not performing well. And I'm not just going to blame one player. I don't think as a team we're doing particularly great. I think there's been quite a few bad performances. So I'm not just going to blame Sinsberg. That'd be unfair of me. But I do think when she plays, the defence doesn't seem comfortable. I think that's a real problem that we're facing right now. But let me just read your comments. We got Ravi, hope you're good. I saw the way Brighton were holding themselves in the game. They were completely in control, as when they had possession, they were smart of it. Yeah, absolutely. I think that for me, the only time we had a lot of possession was those last sort of 10, 15 minutes. We were great. I mean, Carl Dente scored, it woke us up. Why does it have to take us that for us to get in the game? Because listen, Nice Wonga had a great chance, which I've got to give her credit because she's just come to this league and she did great. But I just feel like, as Ravi mentioned, we just never got into the game. Really, they had the control, and it should be the other way around. We should be having the possession and the control in the game, and ultimately that isn't happening for us, which is so disappointing. Yeah, I don't really know what I can say about what's going on. I do think the change in goalkeeper is a big thing, and I do appreciate we need to rest her. Um, yeah, I just think I'm not going to blame Zinsberger, just her. She has been poor, but I just think some of these players just haven't stepped up in the way we need them to. So I'm not just going to blame one player, but I think if we had Daphne in goal, things would be much better for us. Obviously, we have Barca. I don't know how we're going to do against Barca. I probably expect us to play better. It's a final, and I hope we don't bottle it. I hope we turn up and actually rise to the occasion. but honestly, today was just so poor from the team, and yeah, it's just so disappointing. Big up the Macaronial. I swear I'm starting to lose Rani over the situation with Manu. You watch Manu every week and know she's washed. At least Naomi couldn't be any worse. Yeah, I mean, I do get that point about Naomi. I mean, I know if Naomi had a bad game, it wouldn't be particularly great, but I don't think she would have done much worse than Sunsberger today, I think. Like we said, what have we got to lose at this point by by giving Naomi a chance? I mean, she's one of her own, and I'm sure she would give it everything. So, yeah, and I do agree with you on that. What Brighton did well was let Arsenal have more of the ball and soak pressure well. When Brighton had the ball, they knew what to do. Yeah, I think to be honest, like you look at the first goal as well, Beth Mead giving the ball away. I do think Leah could have put in a tackle, if I'm being honest. A great goal. But listen, Frank Kirby was given too much space. I think today we gave him too much space, too much respect. I mean, on their goals, we shouldn't be giving them too much space at all. We should be really closing them down when they're about to shoot because you can almost see what they're going to do. They're going to find a bit of space and have a great chance. But yeah, I just feel like they were a step ahead of us today. They were just much better than us, and I noticed in the season the players are tired. We've got a final coming up, and that is our focus ultimately. I know we've secured Champions League football, but we do want to finish second rather than third. It's better for us to do that. And ultimately, these games can give us confidence going to that final because Barcelona, they are perfect. There's no argument about that. And we aren't perfect. We make mistakes, and we can't afford to make mistakes against Barcelona. So, yeah, I think we have every right to have our concerns going into that game. Hey, so far, that was a disastrous performance. Sorry, yeah, he was shocking. Like when I was watching a game, I saw 4-1, and I'm just like, wow. Ruth went missing. She needs to create more for herself when others don't. For her. Yeah, I get that point. I mean, she had a great chance at the end. But I think for me, the midfield need to be helping her. But as you said, she needs to help herself create chances as well. As someone who follows the Barca women based on last two performances, Arsenal should be terrified. Do you know what I do worry about it getting ugly? I'm not gonna lie. Like for me, I think when you get to 4, I would say that's embarrassing. Listen, when someone scores 3 against you, that's embarrassing. But I think I got to a point that I thought, Brighton going to score 5 goals? Like it just isn't good enough. And like I said before, we've conceded 9 goals in 2 games. Like that's absolutely crazy. And I heard a stat that only Dom Lassar has conceded 10 this season. So that really tells you everything you need to know. But um, yes, I agree. Leo Frestana should make that tackle. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna completely blame her for that goal, but I think she hesitated a bit, and I thought to myself, just put a tackle in, go for it. Let's be honest, Chloe Kelly should be started ahead of Mead. Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult with Mead because there's been some performances this season. I think it was Leon in the first leg. And I thought to myself, you know what, she gave us something to be excited about. I thought she had a good performance, but I mean, in my preview, I did put Beth Mead to start, but I just think that was the wrong thing to do. I think Beth Mead at the moment probably should be coming off the bench. I think Chloe Kelly shows more hunger. I mean, with Chloe Kelly, I love the crosses that she puts in the box, and I feel like she gives it her all. I'm not saying Beth Mead doesn't give her all because she does, but I just think at the moment, as you said, Victor, I think Chloe Kelly is probably the better player to start. Do you feel like Chloe Kelly did enough in the game? I think Chloe Kelly, when she came on, she definitely brought us something different, that we need different energy, and I definitely think that she gave it 100%, and she put some great crosses in the box, and yeah, tried to make things happen. I mean, I think when you fall one down, it's very hard to get back in the game. We have the quality to get back in the game, but yeah, we just didn't. Um, but just be honest, the players' heads are already in the spin sucks and Cardente. Yeah, I do agree. I mean, I think it's similar to the men's. I think they're thinking about that second leg and they can't really do 2 things at once. But yeah, it's really difficult. I just think defensively we're making so many mistakes, and it's just things that these players can do. Closing down players when they're trying to shoot. We need to be doing this already. Yeah, I just feel quite disappointed, really. What do you think to how the defense was? Yeah, I mean, The first goal, I thought defensively we should have been doing better. I can't blame Sinsberger for that goal. I just think it was a great shot. Maybe she could have got a finger to it, but I'm not going to really put, too much blame. Second goal, I can't blame Sinsberger too much either, because I think that we should be closing those players down. Same with the goals. I think defensively we should have done much better on them. But what I will say is that I do think Sinsberger should do better on the other two goals. But I think that wasn't my biggest problem, really, necessarily, Zinsberger. It was more playing out from the back. I mean, her distribution today wasn't great at all. We were giving the ball away quite, a lot. And the players did not look comfortable whatsoever at that back. They just seemed very shaky. They just didn't seem comfortable. And with Don Massara, it's a complete opposite thing. We do seem very comfortable with her. So I think the playing out from the back just wasn't working for us today. And listen, I know Sinsberg will be absolutely devastated, but ultimately we need to be ruthless. And I do think she needs to go in the summer, because she can't be our second choice goalkeeper next season. It's just not good enough. We got KW301. I can conclude that Arsenal need to sign 2 centre-backs as regular. With current centre-backs, Arsenal would never win a major trophy. I mean, the way we defended today wasn't good enough. We obviously have a lot of centre-backs at the moment at our club. I know we've got Ruben Moy, who I do actually like to see her start soon. I do really like her. We've got Amanda, obviously, who has just come back, from maternity. So she is very good. I don't really know how we're going to line up next season. Are we going to be, like you said, are we going to bring any defenders in? Because do you know what I was really thinking to myself when I was watching us in the first leg? I know the second leg we defended excellent, and I'm really proud, but I just worry about the pace of our defence at times, not being able to keep up with the players. And when you're up against Bon Mati, Mateus and so many other players, we're going to be in big trouble. We have to be at our best. And I just think with the final as well, I know I'm going off topic a little bit, but I just feel like we need to perform how we perform on the second leg, because obviously it's only one game. And I do worry about us getting maybe battered or maybe caught out a bit. So yeah, I do think defensively we definitely could do with some upgrades, because we just haven't been performing good enough for me. And yeah, I mean, it's a really tough one to talk about. So for you, how do you think the midfield should be linking up with the forward line? Listen, I think, in the midfield, Cardenti, I thought she was amazing today. I wasn't surprised Kim Little started. I would have liked to see Leah Volti start, because I think she's not started for a while, and it would have been great. We've also got players like Cooney Cross Pullover. I know that didn't work the other day, so I don't blame Renee for doing something different. But yeah, I just think it's lacking that creativity a little bit. I think we need some fresh legs in that midfield. Like I said, we do have a lot of players that can play in that role, but yeah, it just wasn't great, really. Since Berger has conceded 9 goals in 2 games for me, her time is up. Yeah, that says everything, doesn't it? Like, I'm not saying all of the goals are for her to be blamed, but against Villa, she should be doing better on a lot of them goals. I mean, today, 2 of them, I can give her some credit, because I do think those 2 goals were hard for her to get. It was more defensive errors, but as I said, playing out from the back defensively, it just doesn't work. And the team aren't comfortable with her at all, and it's really showing on the pitch. And as I said, I do appreciate she's a great person and all of that, and she's done a lot for our club over the time here. But her time is up now. She's got to move on. We have to move on. We have to be ruthless in the summer if we want to win titles. If we want to be like Chelsea and have their silverware over the years, we've got to be ruthless. Barca put 8 goals past the undefeated WSL champions. That alone should tell you the long ahead of them in Lisbon. Yeah, I mean, Chelsea really probably are a bit better than us right now. I know if we played them, no doubt it would be competitive, but they are champions for a reason. And like Victor said, they scored a lot past Chelsea. So I do obviously expect Dom Lassar to be playing in that final. I think we're probably being protective of her. But if Sinsberger's in goal, then yeah, I think we're going to be in trouble. Defensive mistakes these last 2 games could not be forgiven in the teams who want to win the league. Yeah, I mean, the mistakes we've been making has been terrible. I'm not, as I keep saying, I'm not going to just blame Sinsberger. These players individually need to be doing so much better. But today it was a real poor display from the team. I'm not just going to, as I said, I think as individuals, collectively, we should have done a lot better. Yeah, I mean, the goals we've conceded, so many goals, it's real. Listen, I was thinking of Villa result. I thought, it's a bad day at the office. The players are probably, struggling with fatigue. They're probably exhausted. I can let it lie. But today, it's just the same sort of performance I thought against Villa. And it's so disappointing for me. I'm going to go on to do some play ratings now, guys. Big up to everyone that's watching. I'm really enjoying chatting with you guys. Don't forget to like this video and do subscribe here, comment as well if you're watching this. So yeah, I'm gonna just go with Sinsberg. I'm gonna just get that over and done with. Very hard to give her a decent mark today, if I'm being honest. I'd probably give her a 3 to a 4, and that's probably being generous. I appreciate she's lacking confidence and she's probably not feeling 100%, but ultimately, it's just not good enough, as we've mentioned. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go into it too much because it's just so many mistakes we keep making and it's just not good enough. So, yeah, Zinsberger for me gets a 3 to a 4, and maybe that's bad, but we can see the 4 goals and it's not all defensive problems. She has to be responsible as well. Who should I go with now? Let me go with Emily Fox. You know what? I think defensively as a collective, we should have done better. But yeah, I don't think she had a bad game. I think she was okay today. I think that it was just sort of probably a 5 to a 6. I think it was an okay performance. I don't have many complaints really. But yeah, I think defensively the team should be doing better. So yeah. Leah today, I think she had some great moments, and I really appreciate the blocks that she made, which really helped us. It could have been a lot worse. But I also do think that she could have maybe on the first goal gone for the block or just attempted to block. Because I think she hesitated and, things could have been different. I mean, it could have been 3-2, not 4-2. But yeah, I didn't have a lot of criticism. I think I think defensively, as I said, I think at least one of those players should have been blocking those chances, or two of these players. So I'm not just going to blame her. I'll give her a 6. I mean, I think she, as I said, made some good interceptions. She wasn't the worst out of our defence, but I do think she could have done a bit better as well. Steph Catley, I think Steph Catley, sort of a similar sort of performance. I think she, at the end, I do appreciate she made some great crosses in the box to try and help us in the attacking sense, which is kind of good to see her playing in that role. But I also think that, as I said, defensively, it wasn't great either. So, yeah, McCabe. I think McCabe, it wasn't really a strong performance from her. I wanted to see a bit more passion from her, a bit more going forward as well. Um, Sort of similar. I can't really give the team a really high score really after today. I mean, as I said, 5 to 6 is probably going to be the best for me. Yeah, I think defensively we just weren't really great today, so I can't give her too much of a high score. And I do appreciate the final is on the team's mind, and I do understand that, but we do have to um, focus on these games as well. I just want to, before I go on to talk about midfield, I just want to read out some comments here. Big up KW301. Which position Arsenal recruit do you think? I mean, there's obviously a lot of positions we do need to recruit in. I definitely think having a second choice goalkeeper is got to be our priority. I do think, listen, I don't know who's going in the summer just yet. I think whoever does go, we would have to replace. I mean, I don't know if Blackstenius is leaving or Mead. There's some contracts expiring and hurting as well. So I do think we could do for defender. I do think that we could do with maybe a creative midfielder, a winger. So I do think we have room for improvement for this team. But I do think the second choice goalkeeper for me would be something that is so crucial. Using Steph as a centre back would never be a long term solution. It's so tough because I really like Steph. I think that as a centre back, she's had some really outstanding games this season. I think in the second leg of the Champions League final, she was great. But she's had some iffy performances as well, which, aren't particularly great, and she does need to be responsible for that as well, like a lot of these players do, because it's just not been great today and, this season at all. Now midfield, I'm going to start off with Caldente and then I'll go on to speak about the other midfielders. I thought Caldente was probably our best player today. I know she, even before she scored that goal, I feel like she was really, you know, wasn't afraid to drive forward with the ball. She was giving it her all, and obviously when she scored that goal, it gave us life in the game. But why has it taken us that long to have that life in the game? We should have done stuff so much sooner, and which is so disappointing that we haven't, um, made. I wish that goal came sooner in the game. I wish, to be honest with you, I do think we should have had two penalties, but I ultimately think it was too little too late for me. But with Cardenti, I just think that she stood out to me today, and she really showed some of these players that she is a level above them, and she is world class for me. She is amazing. So I'm going to give her a 7. I think she definitely outclassed some of these players today. Frida Monum, in the first half, Frida Mann obviously had a few really great chances, which I thought was really great. I think that, yeah, she's obviously great with her shooting. She's not afraid to give things a go. Second half, obviously, things, were a bit more quieter, but I'd probably give her a 6.5. I don't think it was a terrible performance, but I don't think it was Manum's best performance either. Now, I do honestly think with Kim Little, I was a bit surprised to see her start. Not gonna lie, because I think she's a player that we definitely need in that final. She's obviously a really important player, and yeah, I just think that it'd be great to see her in that final, and hopefully she'll be fit for that final. But today, yeah, I think she was okay. I think the midfield did seem to struggle. I think Kim Little, gives it her best, and I can't argue that. So I'd probably give her a 6.5. I think as a team we weren't particularly great. I can't give any of these players too much of a high score, but yeah, I don't think she did much wrong. I think in the midfield, I think we gave the ball away, which was sort of individual mistakes as well in that midfield, defensive mistakes as well. So yeah, which is obviously disappointing. Um, I rate Leah high, so great. So regret she could not be given playing time. Yeah, it's really interesting because some fans think she's not good enough, and some fans really like it. I do think she's good enough. I definitely think she's a good player to have. Maybe she's not a starter, but I think today, what I would have maybe liked to have. And listen, I put this back for my lineup as well, so I can't really argue too much. But I think in hindsight, would it have been nice to maybe seen a wee bit more, Kadena? I think we could have done that, but I still think any of this back four would have struggled um, with this goalkeeper. It's just not working. It's very obvious to see. Now let's talk about the attacking front line. Let me go with Ford. I thought Ford was probably our best attacker on the front line. I think she scored a goal, but what I really liked about that goal was she gave it a shot first. The keeper saved it, but she went again, and to me that shows me that she's a player with confidence. And yeah, I just think she's really, she's enjoying the football right now. Obviously, we're not doing particularly great in the league, but I think she's someone who's quite underrated. It goes under the radar, and I think she's had a really good season for Arsenal. But yeah, I think that goal was really great, and it came at a very important time. And yeah, I felt like she didn't deserve to be on the losing side today. And I love Ford. I think the way she dribbles past players, puts really great crosses in the box. I think she did. I think Ford had a good game today. I'd probably give her a 7. Same as Caldenti. I think those two players probably stood out the most to me. Um, I'm going to go Beth Mead now, and then I'll talk about Russo. For me, Beth Mead, she gave the ball away ultimately, and these things do happen. Defensively, we should have done better, so I'm not going to wholeheartedly blame her. As I've mentioned, I think it wasn't her best game. I don't remember a time where she created a lot of chances or she did something that blew me away. Yeah, I think she needs to step up in these games, and yeah, as I said, I'm not mad Rennie started her, because I probably would have started her if I was in Rennie's situation, because it's important to give a few players a rest as well and give other players an opportunity. But as I said, it just wasn't really good enough today. And I'd probably give Beth Mead a 5.5. You know, but players have these games sometimes. I just think we're going through a phase now where we're just struggling, maybe with a bit of confidence. Um, I think if we score first, we definitely can keep scoring. But I think when they score, it definitely knocks our confidence. So I think that's what makes it difficult for us to get back into the game. Let me just read this. Abraham, not nicest football. Yeah, we've not really been playing the best football, have we? I can't complain. I can't lie. Sorry. AFC always says play of the match today. I'd probably say Caldente or Ford. Probably more Caldente. I think Caldente definitely had a really good game. I think that, as I said, she definitely feels to me like a level above some of these players, and she's definitely, yeah, a very exciting player to watch. And I just think we've needed a player like her for such a long time. I just think she's world class. I think that she's a level above some of these players, and she's really showing them what she can do. And yeah, she's so exciting to watch, and she's been amazing signing for us. Probably the best signing of the season. In attackers, they are good enough, but I hope Arsenal bring players who can play left wingers. I want Trinity Rodden, Julie Brand, or Diane. Yeah, I think first of all, I'll definitely keep Chloe Kelly. I hope we can sort that out. We do need some reinforcements, absolutely. I would love. I really like players like Jess Park, Grace Clinton. I think we need some of these players that are already proven, or players in different leagues that can really help us with our ability and take us on to a next level, especially if we're in these big competitions. And listen, I don't know if we win a final. If we don't win a final, I'm still be proud of the team for getting this far. But we really need to turn things around. We've obviously got United on the 10th of May, which is our last WSL game. Um, listen, if we win, if we don't win, we've still got Champions League football. We do want to finish second. I mean, we just have to draw against United or get a win. But I just want to get a good performance in before the Barcelona game, because I just worry about our confidence at the moment. I just think our confidence has been knocked. Um, So, if your thoughts on the subs made, was it late or the right time? Yeah, obviously the one that really stood out to me was we saw Pullover come on at the end, and listen, Arteta's done this as well. I think Rene's probably just put players on to just see what they can do, but ultimately, I just think that was really late for Pullover to come on. Obviously, we saw a change in the 60th minute. So Man and Mead, Little McCabe went off, and we saw Kelly, Blackstenius, Valentine, Iswonga. 60 minutes, I think, is a good amount of time, to be honest with you, to come on, because it gives you a good half an hour to try and make things happen. Um, Obviously, I'm going to go into talking about their performances. I need to give Russo a rating as well. So I'll, but what I will say, I do think Pullover should have come on sooner, or Cooney Cross should have come on. What happened? Brighton finally scored at home at first U, and 4-3 was, yeah, I did see that. A few of those Chelsea players did score. Now let me go on Russo. I'll be honest, I think Russo's work rate you can't ever argue about. I think she definitely is someone who works really hard off the ball. I will also say I don't think today was her best game. I think she did struggle to really make things happen for herself. I'd probably give her maybe a 6. I don't think she was awful. I think she had a great chance at the end. I knew we weren't going to win at the end anyway, but it would have been nice to see her, create more of those opportunities for herself. But I do think the team needs to be creating these opportunities for her as well. It's not all. I can't just sit here and blame Russo, because I don't think she really had a lot of chances today. Now I'm going to go on to substitutions, because there's a lot to talk about. Kelly, I think, she came on in as I said, 60 minutes she came on, so she had a good amount of time. I think she definitely brought us a bit of energy. I'd probably give her a 6. I think that, um, as I said, she was really trying to put crosses in the box. A lot of the time, they defended really well, and there wasn't really any players to really, head the ball or do much. So I think I can't really blame Kelly for that. That's not really her fault. It's more the players need to get in the right spaces. Um, but yeah, I think Kelly had a decent game when she came on. Blackstenius, I just felt like she really wasted a lot of her chances. I mean, she did have a great chance where she got the ball when she put a cross in the box and it was just straight to the goalkeeper. And it is so disappointing because she has been such a good player for us these last, seasons she's been here. She's been a big player against Man City in these big games, but I just feel so disappointed with how she performed today. I just feel like, she can be a player that can bring you that energy and, bring you that excitement in games. And I just don't think today she gave us much of that. I'd probably give her a 4. I don't think she was particularly great. Um, yeah, I can't really give her much other than that. I do appreciate, she didn't start and she just had to do. I think we knew we'd lost the game at that point. But I just think she could have really, if she got a goal for us, it would have made a big difference. Um, Now, Nice Wonga, I'm quite happy with how Nice Wonga played. I mean, that shot at the end was absolutely amazing. She's not really started many games, which I kind of understand because it's a new league. It's very different when you come to a different, country or a different league. You have to adapt, and that takes time. So I think that's fair enough. But yeah, I think for me, it's yeah, I think she had a good game. Probably give her 6.5. I think she should be happy with that shot at the end, hit the crossbar. I really, really admire her for going for that because at the end, you don't really have anything to lose. But it's a real shame she didn't get that goal for her because she really deserved it. Big up AFC always says please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for your support. I do really appreciate it. But yeah, guys, do like and subscribe this if you are watching. It'd be very much appreciated. On Freedom on, how about using Kurt as a striker, like Arteta using Kai and Marino as a striker? I think Fried is a versatile player. It's worthy of trying. Yeah, I mean, I really love her in the attacking sense. I think, as you've mentioned, she's just she is a versatile player, and I think that I personally think she's very exciting to watch in the attacking sense, and she's very talented. So I definitely wouldn't mind playing her higher up the pitch, like I said, as a striker. I mean, in some games we can't always play Bruce, so we can't always rely on her. She needs to have a rest sometimes. So I wouldn't personally mind if we do decide to give her a chance and give her some playing time. So yeah, I think I wouldn't mind that at all. I think that's a fair opinion there. Now, Leah Volti. I would have actually started Leah Volti. Obviously, I said Kim Little, Leah Volti. I don't really mind who does play. I think she came on. She put in a few good tackles. I think at that point it was quite hard to come into the game because I think around 60 minutes. I think we conceded another goal anyway, and I just think this team is lacking confidence. I just think there's something going on in this team at the moment. But I think she was okay. I think she probably needed a bit more time to get into the game. But yeah, we did give the ball away a lot. I'd probably give her, 5 to a 6. I don't think she did anything amazing, but I don't think she did much bad. I think it was quite hard to come into this game when we were already losing at this point anyway. Yeah, it's not really been our best game today at all. I think it's been a quite a disappointing one today, and it's so hard to give some of these players a real high mark because I just think the way I can just sum it up is disappointing. I mean, you expect a lot of these players because we've seen how they can perform on a daily basis, and yeah, I don't know what is going on with these players. I mean, United are on form at the moment. I mean, they obviously scored a secure Champions League football like us, which is amazing, and I don't know. I mean, with the Emirates, we've got a great crowd. It should be great, but um, I really think we have to play Daphne or Williams for that. I don't. Sorry, I don't want this to sound rude, but I just can't see Zinsberger again. It's just not good enough for me. I don't think she has the ability right now to do it. I just think she's lacking confidence massively, and I think it's really shown for me. Um, and it's definitely for me a really big concern. And yeah, I think it's a real shame how it's going, but ultimately, we have to be playing these best players, and I think Rennick needs to have a real big think about who to play for this United game. Obviously, we've got a bit of time, and we play on the 10th of May, so the players have a bit of a rest, but we just can't keep going like this. It's just not good enough for me. Now, Rennie, for me, I know it's so difficult because if they're wanting to rest Stephanie for the game coming up. I understand that because it's a big game against Barcelona in the final, but I just think for me it's a real disappointment. We can't. I don't know if it's a mistake she played Sinsberger because we don't have a lot of options. She could have played Williams. I don't know how that would have gone. It could have gone worse, could have gone better. We won't ever know. I do think with the subs, I mean, she could have brought players on a lot sooner. Like bringing Pullover on dead late isn't really great, is it? So I don't think Renee's too much at fault, but I think if she, I don't know, she could have maybe changed it in the second half, 45 minutes. I don't really know. I'd probably give Rennie a 5 out of 10 today. 5 to a 6. I mean, I think she definitely could have done things a bit better, a bit sooner, but ultimately she needs to bring in her own players, and it's very, very difficult for her. She's just got the squad that she's got now, and she's got to deal with that. And that all isn't really her fault. She's just got to really bring in her own players, as you said, and have a big summer ahead. I can see Frida as a striker, looks like a shallow striker like Del Piero. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say no to that. I think she's definitely a great attacking player to have, and she can absolutely score some amazing goals. So, yeah, I wouldn't really say no to playing her. I think she can be a great, option to have in the attacking sense. We've got some great attacking players. It's just not really going our way at the moment. Listen today was not great at all. It's so tough, really, to see where we go from here. For me, obviously, if we don't win against United going into that final, it's going to be a lot more difficult because we have a lot of confidence, and we need as much confidence as we can get going to that final. As I've said, I'll be proud no matter what happens. If we're not ready to beat Barcelona, if we do get battered, I will probably say to myself, we need to have a big summer, and really should think about which players should stay here, which players should move on. Obviously, if we win, even better. That's incredible. And I don't know who's going in the summer. I'm sure that might be announced at the Emirates. I'm sure that'll be announced at the end of the season. But it would be a great way to send off for some of these players that may be leaving. But is Renee's first season at Arsenal? I'm not sure how long she'll be at Arsenal. She could obviously, be here for a few seasons. I'm still an admirer of Renee. I think she's a great person. I think she understands these players and she's brought them confidence. But I think she went for a strong lineup today, which I think is fair enough because that lineup she put out the other day, she trusted in them players too much and they did let her down. So, yeah, it's a tough one because I like Renee and I want to see what she does in the summer. Beth is still an important player, even if not fast as pass. She still has a good vision and skills. Yeah, I think with Beth Mead, it's an interesting one because I love Beth Mead. I mean, there was a silly rumour the other day about her going to United, which I don't know if it had a lot of truth in it, but I wouldn't be surprised if she did leave in the summer. I think fans have been a bit very harsh to her this season. I do think she probably wasn't the player she was maybe a few seasons ago, but I still think, like as you've mentioned, she's still got a great eye for a good pass, or she can really make some amazing goals. And there was a goal, I don't remember what game it was. It might have been Crystal Palace, and I thought to myself, was that goal supposed to be for a cross? But she actually scored it, and it made it look so easy. So I definitely, as you've mentioned, she's definitely a great player. And I think at the moment, I'd probably say Beth Mead is probably best coming off the bench. I think she's more impactful at that moment. But I do agree with you. She's still a great player and she's got some great skills. FC Barcelona are a good team. Yeah, they really are amazing. I think to beat Chelsea by that margin, I mean, you really can't afford to make any mistakes. And I think we are a team that makes mistakes, and you obviously can't do that when you're playing up against the best. So I think it's going to be a really tough game for us. But ultimately, we just have to do our best. And on the day, just hope we can do what we, just give it our 100% effort. But guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to wrap this show up in a couple of minutes. I've been on here for 40 minutes and it's been really, really enjoyable to chat with you all. So I'm very, very grateful to chat with you all today. Obviously, sad that we've not been able to get a win. It's been a very, very tough time for both the men and women's. I think the men and women's, if I'm being honest, are in a very similar situation. I mean, obviously we're in the final; they're not there yet, but in the league, I think we're both struggling. But yeah, hopefully things can turn around. I will be back soon, guys. Obviously, the men's team play on Wednesday. But yeah, I will let you guys know when I'll be next uploading. But I do really appreciate you watching my show tonight. And yeah, I hope you all do have a great week as well. It's been great to chat with you all tonight. If you're watching this, do like this video, guys. Do subscribe here to my channel, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.